Welcome back, everybody, to the Cleveland Guardians franchise here on MLB The Show 22. We've got some more playoff baseball with games 3 and 4 of the ALCS back home in Cleveland against the White Sox. Game 3 looks like it's going to be a rainy one, but that will not stop us from not just playing some baseball tonight, but having a full crowd of fans at the stadium. They clearly were not scared off by the rain and are here to support their ball club. So far, we have split the first two games of the ALCS, one apiece in Chicago, and the real story of those games were the pitching. I think both offenses pretty much struggled. We had 9 hits through those two games, which is not good, but the pitching has been able to hold afloat for the most part. We did allow 7 runs in game 2, but I do think the score is a little bit closer than that one suggests. The first game we won 5-3. We only had 6 hits. We also had 2 errors, but we had 2 big home runs at key times. The second game was pretty close most of the time, but the White Sox kind of pulled away late. They were able to win. So as we go into game 3, obviously we need more from the offense. We hit the ball really well in the wild card game along with the ALDS against the Yankees. We need the offense to come alive again. We've been good when we've had runners on base, but we have not been consistently getting runners on base. The pitching has done a very formidable job. Obviously, the rotation, particularly the top with Bieber and Fried, and to a lesser extent, McKenzie, have all been really good. The bullpen as well has been, for the most part, quite solid. So I don't think the pitching is really the worry, which was my concern going into the postseason. We just need more consistent outings from the hitting. We're facing off against 2 left-handed pitchers today in Shane McClanahan and then Clayton Kershaw, which should make things quite interesting. We could very well see a rain delay here in Game 3 as well, particularly if the rain gets worse. So that'll be something we certainly look to monitor. But nevertheless, it is time to play ball as we get an awesome camera angle at the view of the stadium and Tristan McKenzie warming up on the mound. Here's a look at both lineups, regular starters for both sides. Tristan McKenzie pitched in game number 2 in the Yankees series, and he dominated. He had a perfect game, go nearly 5 innings. He had a no-hitter go into the 7th. The thing with McKenzie this year is he's been very streaky. He's had some really good starts, like the Yankee game, and he's had some really bad starts. So hopefully we get the good version of McKenzie today as he strikes out Garrett Hampson to start things off. That's a good start. Luis Robert is up for Chicago. He hits this one nicely into the right center gap for extra bases. Although Luis Robert did not win the MVP this year, he was the front runner for most of the season and might be the most well-rounded, most complete player other than, I guess, by default, Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout in all of baseball. Eloy Jimenez swings and misses at the splitter. Good start for the Slim Reaper. Hopefully he can keep it going in the innings to come. Shane McClanahan, the lefty, on the bump for Chicago. He's coming off a pretty good outing of his own for the White Sox. 7 innings. He allowed 2 runs and got the win in a nice performance back in the ALDS against the Houston Astros. Cleveland has some guys in this lineup who can really hit lefties well. One of those being Ketel Marte, who hits this one nicely into the opposite field for a base hit. So Cleveland has a base runner. Hopefully the offense can really set the tone here early. Only 9 hits through the first 2 games is honestly unacceptable. Jose Ramirez is up. He swings at a pitch way out of his zone. Ramirez's plate discipline throughout the playoffs has been phenomenal, but not so much that at bat as he swings and misses at the high heat. No score going into the second. Raconde Diaboculis leads it off for Chicago. Grounded to short. Going to be a close play, and they do not get him in time. However, I think in real time he was out. Cleveland certainly agrees as manager Giovanni Cabrera will be throwing out the challenge. So we'll see what the ruling is here as we get a closer look on the replay. And this one is so close. I honestly still think he might be out, but that might be too close to overturn. As we look at the replay again, that is so hard to tell what happened first. And I think it's because it's so close, I think this play is going to stand. The officials are going to go with their previous call. That is the case. Diaboculis is safe at first, and it'll be an infield single for Chicago. As you look at it from this angle, the ball is in the glove, and I don't think his foot is on the bag, but it is literally a millisecond difference, so you can't really blame the officials for getting it wrong. Grandal goes down on strikes. Nice pitch by McKenzie. His third K of the day as he fools the former All-Star catcher Grandal. Diaboculus looking to head for second. Late throw from the catcher Eliezer Alfonso. And Diaboculus is now in scoring position. Now he's on third for Yohan Moncada, who grounds it to the pitcher. McKenzie makes a quick and easy play. And so far, Tristan McKenzie is looking the part through the first 2 innings of this ball game. No score going into the bottom of the second. It's been an up and down postseason here for Franmil Reyes. Hopefully he can perform well here these next couple of games at home. As on a 3-2 pitch, he rips it nicely into left, and it's caught. What a catch for the first out of the inning. Oh my lord, an improbable grab by the outfielder. That was Eloy Jimenez who made the play. 2 gone, it's Dansby Swanson with a drive into left field and one hell of a bat flip. A solo home run for Swanson, and the Cleveland Guardians are on the board first. 420 blaze it, as it's now 1-0. Dansby Swanson with his first home run of the postseason. He struggled to hit early on, but he's honestly been one of the only good offensive players for Cleveland so far in this ALCS. Manuel Margot looking to keep the second inning fun going as he singles up the middle into center field. So Cleveland is another base runner. We'll see if they can maybe look to drive him in and extend this lead. The catcher, Eliezer Alfonso, singles into center, even though that pitch was way out of the zone. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters all delivering for the Guardians. And that'll bring up Jesus Sanchez, who's been Cleveland's best offensive player in the postseason, with a real opportunity to do some damage as that pitch gets by Grandal. Both runners will swipe bags. And now Cleveland is a base hit away from making it a 3-0 ball game with 2 runners in scoring position. Jesus Sanchez hits it well into left. Jimenez will not make the catch. 1 run scores, 2 will score. Sanchez is easily out at second, but that's still a 2-run single for the Cleveland Guardians, who take a 3-0 lead through 2 innings. A great 2-out rally from the offense as we go into the 3rd inning. And this game is going into a 45-minute rain delay. The umpire is having a conversation with manager Cabrera. So for now, Tristan McKenzie will stay in the game. He's pitching well so far. However, Cleveland may start to get the bullpen loose in case things go south. What a play by Dansby Swanson at short with the spin move, getting the first out of the inning. 2 away now for Brandon Nimmo. Hits this one well into center, and that one will drop for a base hit. So the White Sox now the runner aboard here with 2 away from the heart of the order. And that starts with their best player, Luis Robert, who hits it nicely in a left center field. And that one is gone. A 2-run shot for Robert, his 3rd home run of the postseason. And the White Sox are right back in the ball game as it is now 3-2. Beautiful swing by the ultra-talented center fielder Luis Robert, as that'll bring up Eloy Jimenez. This one into left, and the White Sox have gone back-to-back. This game is tied at 3. Eloy with his 4th home run of the playoffs, 369. Nice feat. That'll bring up Ricande Diaboculus looking to make it 3 in a row. Not going to happen as he strikes out on the inside changeup, but not a great inning there for Tristan McKenzie. He allows back-to-back home runs, and we are knotted up at 3. It looks like the offenses are finally coming alive here in the ALCS. We'll see if Cleveland's offense can keep things rolling after a great second inning, as Ketel Marte is up with 1 away. He had a base hit in his last at-bat. Looks like he might get another one, as this one is hit well into center, and that one goes off the wall. Marte gonna waltz into second for a stand-up double. Cleveland has another runner in scoring position and a real opportunity to capitalize and take this lead right back. That'll bring up Franmil Reyes, who nearly had a base hit in his last at-bat. Looks like he's going to make sure this one drops as it does a 1-hop in front of the wall. Marte scores. Reyes slides into second safely for an RBI double. And the Guardians are right back on top as it is now a 4-3 ball game. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Josh Bell, hitting from the right side of the plate. 2-2 pitch. Bell lines it nicely into right field, and that one is going to drop off the wall. Bell rounding first. Reyes will score. It's an RBI double for Josh Bell, and the Guardians now lead this game 5-3. Shane McClanahan is getting rocked right now. Swanson hits it well over to second, but it's caught by Gleyber Torres. Still a good inning at the plate for Cleveland. Their offense finally coming alive as it's 5-3 going into the fourth. Chicago's offense appears to still be in a groove as well. With two away, Yoan Moncada homers into right center field. The third home run since the rain delay, and it is now a one-run game. It has been a night and day difference on the mound for Triston McKenzie since the rain delay, and I imagine that has something to do with it as McKenzie's out of the game replaced by Dylan Tate. We know Triston McKenzie is streaky. He had a good first postseason start and a bad second one, but I do really think the rain delay kind of messed with his rhythm, and if not for the rain delay, I think he would still honestly be pitching really well. Andrew Vaughn grounds out to third. Ramirez makes the play. Good job by Dylan Tate to quickly get out of the top of the fourth, but the White Sox do get a run back with the homer by Moncada. Bottom four, here is Eliezer Alfonso up for Cleveland. He goes down looking at the four-seam fastball. It's been tough sledding for Shane McClanahan today. We'll see if he can try to pick it up here as he gets Alfonso. That'll bring us to the fifth. Tate still in for Cleveland as Brandon Nimmo singles into left field with one away. Cleveland is hoping to get another solid inning out of Tate. We'll see if they can do it. Eloy Jimenez lines it to second. Nice play by Ramon Romero, the rookie. And nobody will score in the top of the fifth for the White Sox as it remains a 5-4 lead for Cleveland. Shane McClanahan still in the game here in the bottom of the fifth as he faces off against the lefty killer, Ramon Romero, who hits a single into right. We know Romero hits lefties better than just about anybody on this roster, and the 19-year-old second baseman is aboard. He will take McClanahan out of the game, and he'll be replaced by Matthew Thompson, making his second postseason appearance. His first one was back in Game 1 of the ALCS, in which he pitched quite well. Ketel Marte draws a walk, so the Guardians get their first two runners of the inning on base. They're already winning, but I'm sure they would love to add some insurance runs and extend this lead as Jose Ramirez hits a high one, kind of deep in the left field. It goes to the warning track, but it is caught. That one certainly did not have home run power, but it did nearly lead the ballpark for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Franmil Reyes, who's hit a couple balls really nicely. This one not so much as he strikes out. However, the ball got away from Grandal once again, so both runners will advance spaces. And now Cleveland is two runners in scoring position. A huge opportunity here for Josh Bell, who drove in a run in his last at-bat. One of Cleveland's best hitters with runners on base, and he is going to clutch up. Bell singles into center. Ramiro scores. Marte looking to join him. Two-run single for Josh Bell, and the Guardians take a 7-4 lead here in the bottom of the fifth inning. That'll bring up Dansby Swanson, who homered earlier in the game. Hits it nicely into right center. This one could drop, and it will. Robert is unable to make the play, and that'll be a double for Swanson. Runners on second and third here. A big-time opportunity here for Manuel Margot. We'll see if he can capitalize with two runners on and two away. The 1-2 pitch got away from Grandal. Runner headed home. The throw to the pitcher is in time. Josh Bell was caught trying to be greedy and steal home plate. A gutsy decision, especially with two outs, as it remains 7-4. Nick Sandlin now in the game for the Guardians here in the top of the sixth. Two scoreless postseason innings so far. He's looking to add a third. We'll see if he can do it. One away for Grandal. He goes down on the slider. It's been a rough one today for Grandal at the plate and behind the plate as well. He has not had a good defensive day, and his offense really has not made up for it. Following a Gleyber Torres walk, that'll bring up Yoan Moncada here with two away and a big opportunity to try to get the White Sox back in the game as he strikes out. Good inning from Nick Sandlin. The Guardians hold on to their 7-4 lead going into the bottom half of the sixth inning. The offense is playing some great baseball. Hopefully they can keep it up. Full count here for Eliezer Alfonso. He will draw a walk. So Alfonso is aboard for a second time today. And a big opportunity for Jesus Sanchez. He swings and misses at the fastball. Although I still think Sanchez has been Cleveland's best offensive player in the playoffs, he has been a little bit quieter in this series against the White Sox. Miguel Castro is in for Cleveland in the top of the seventh. Still a 7-4 ball game. And Castro will retire the side with ease as he gets Brandon Nimmo to go down looking on the outside sinker. Good pitch from Castro. We go to the bottom half of the inning. Ryan Burr, it's called out. is in for Chicago. He faces off against Ketel Marte, who rips that one to second. Nice play by Gleyber Torres to get the first out of the inning. Good work showing off the glove. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez. Quiet day for him, 0 for 3. He gets hit by the pitch. He did check his swing, but the umpire says he did not go around. So Ramirez is now on first. 2 gone now for Josh Bell, who's driven in 3 runs today. Highly productive day for him. Why stop now? Bell with a line drive and a right center. It is out of here. 2-run homer for Josh Bell, his 4th of the playoffs. Bell has now driven 5 runners in today, and the Guardians lead 9-4. The Towels are swinging around quickly. Dansby Swanson strikes out. That'll end the inning. But another good inning for the Cleveland Guardians as they hold a big lead with just 2 innings to go. Although Cleveland is up comfortably, they still want their better relievers to finish out the game, make sure there's no funny business. That includes Camilo Doval, who faces off against Eloy Jimenez, who ropes that one down the line and fair for a 1-out double. So Jimenez is aboard in scoring position. Camilo Doval is as good as anybody of getting out of jams. We'll see if he can do that here with Diaboculis, who strikes out on the outside slider. Good pitch there for the second out of the inning. Now Grandal is up, hits it well into center, but Manuel Margot will go over to make the play. And the Guardians hold on to their 9-4 lead going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Cleveland is very close to their second win of the ALCS. Jose Ruiz is in for Chicago. He is not allowed to run. So far here in the playoffs, Chicago is hoping that this will continue. He faces off against the rookie Zane Rowley, only 1 for 11 in the postseason. Make it 2 for 12 as he singles into center field. Rowley was great the final month of the season after getting called up. Has been a little bit quiet in the playoffs when given the opportunity, but he's a 19-year-old rookie. I guess it's to be expected. Will Benson, also entering as a pinch hitter, strikes out on the fastball. That'll bring us back to the top of the order. Jesus Sanchez up for Cleveland, grounds it past the glove of the first baseman. That'll go for a single. The Guardians have 2 runners on, looking to possibly add a double digit to the scoreboard. We'll see if they can do it with the other rookie, Ramon Ramiro, up at the plate. And he's going to ground this one to short. 6-4-3 double play. Nothing doing in the bottom of the 8th. We'll see if Cleveland can hold on to their 5-run lead going into the 9th inning with James Karinchak on the mound to finish off the game. He has an ERA of 16.2 in 2 postseason outings. Not great. The Guardians are hoping this one can look a little bit better as he strikes out Gleyber Torres for out number 1. Karinchak moving right along here. 2 away now for Gavin Sheets. Pops it up into shallow right center. Zane Rowley is under it. And the Cleveland Guardians are 2 wins away from advancing to the 2024 World Series as they beat the White Sox 9-4. After getting 9 hits in the first 2 games against Chicago, Cleveland scores 9 runs today on 14 hits. The offense had one of their best games of the playoffs. The pitching did more than enough to get the win. Chicago's offense wasn't bad, particularly towards the middle of this game, but after the 4th inning, they did not drive anybody in. But it was really the pitching who lost in this game. McClanahan struggled, the bullpen struggled, and, well, you're not going to win many games when your starter and your relievers both don't do well. We hit for good power, we hit for good contact, we hit great when runners were on base, which continues to really be the story of this team throughout the playoffs, consistently doing well with runners aboard. Homers for Bell and Swanson. Bell drove in 5 runs. Tristan McKenzie was not his best. Again, we know he's streaky. I think the rain delay is partially why he wasn't great today, but the bullpen was fantastic, winning us this game after the 4th inning. That'll bring us to game number 4 back in Cleveland. The weather is a whole lot better for this game, which should be fun, I guess. Probably a more pleasant experience for the fans. Although, who doesn't like seeing your favorite baseball team win a playoff game, even in the rain? That's still got to be pretty fun. If Cleveland can win this game, they'll take a 3-1 series lead and hold all the momentum going into game 5, which, keep in mind, is still in Cleveland. Here's a look at both lineups. The Guardians mixing it up a little bit. George Valera and Luis Campusano getting the start today instead of Margot and Alfonso. Adbert Alzolay is on the bump for Cleveland. He pitched in Game 3 of the ALDS against the Yankees. He did not pitch very well. The Guardians are hoping for a better performance from him. With 2 away, Luis Robert hits it nicely into the right center gap. That'll go over the fence for a ground rule double. So with 2 away, Chicago is a runner aboard. And what the hell is this? Why is the umpire cracking up at Jose Ramirez? What is Jose Ramirez even doing? Oh, it gets better, though. Why don't we pan over to the outfield? So apparently George Valera is kicking field goals. Good to see everybody's having fun in a high-tense playoff situation, but okay, we'll roll with it. Eloy Jimenez singles up the middle into center. Maybe you guys shouldn't have been kicking field goals in the outfield. Runner scores, and it's 1-0. Do the Cleveland Browns need a kicker, by the way? I mean, Cade York has had his ups and downs. Is George Valera an upgrade? I don't know. Raconde Diaboculis goes down looking. Not a bad start for Chicago as they do drive in a run, and they lead this game 1-0. Let's go to the bottom half of the first, introduce ourselves to Chicago's starting pitcher. You may know him, one of the all-time great left-handed pitchers, one of the all-time best pitchers of this generation. He goes by the name of Clayton Kershaw. Kersh did not have a great regular season with his ERA in the 5s, and his first playoff outing, although he won, he did not pitch great. 5 innings, 4 runs allowed. So we'll see if he can do a little bit better today against the Cleveland lineup coming off a great performance in Game 3 against also a left-handed starting pitcher. Ketel Marte hitting him a leadoff hole today. He singles into center field. Clayton Kershaw has notoriously not been a good pitcher in October throughout his postseason career, as that'll bring up Ramon Romero, the lefty killer. And, well, I think the only thing he killed there was nothing, other than his chances of getting on base. He will weakly ground out to the pitcher. No double play. Marte was out in second too quickly. So Cleveland does have a runner in scoring position. I guess it's not a total failure of an at-bat. Franmil Reyes is up, 2 away. Runner on second. 1-1 pitch on its way from Kershaw. High hanging pitch, but Reyes does not get that one on the sweet spot at the bat as it's grounded to short. And Garrett Hampson is able to make the play with ease. 1-0, your score through 1, the White Sox on top. Let's move to the second. Hopefully Chicago doesn't keep up this strong offensive start as Gleyber Torres singles up to center field. I miss the days when Adbert Alzolay was cooking through the first 2 months of the season. His ERA was into 2s. It has been downhill since then. He had a bad first postseason start, and he's not looking a whole lot much better here as he allows a single into right. 2 runners on, 1 away. Top of the order back up for Chicago. It's Hampson. He grounds it to Ramirez, who thought about tagging third. Then he changes his mind, way overthrows the first baseman. Runner scores, and it is now 2-0. Jose Ramirez's defense in the postseason has been an utter disaster. I'm pretty sure he had 2 errors in Game 1 against Chicago, and he gets another one here. With 2 away, this one is flown into center. Sanchez makes the play. The White Sox do score another run that could have been very easily preventable if not for some really, really bad defense by Jose Ramirez. Let's go to the bottom of the second. Cleveland's offense trying to get some things going here against Kershaw. With 2 away, it's the catcher Luis Campusano up to the plate for the Guardians. Started the playoffs off really well, but he has quickly come back down to earth as he flies out to center. 1-2-3 inning, and so far, Clayton Kershaw, who's looked completely cooked all year, is the one doing the cooking. Let's go to the third. Luis Robert hits it to his favorite spot, that gap in right center field. It bounces off the wall on a 1-hop, and Robert will stay at second for a double. Luis Robert continues to just be unbelievable. This guy is an ascending superstar for the White Sox. 1 away for Diaboculis, flies it into right, and it is caught! What a catch by George Valera! Robert rounds third and looks to head home. The throw from Bell is not in time. Okay, that's a lot to take in. So George Valera makes the catch of the year, but Luis Robert scores on a sacrifice fly from second base. And after all that, it is now 3-0. Well, that's one way to score a run if you're the White Sox, as that'll bring up Yasmani Grandal with 2 away. He grounds out to first. Bell tags the base. So Cleveland allows another run. The White Sox have scored in each of the first 3 innings today. Again, you would hope for a little bit more from the defense. Josh Bell was way late to throw it home on that play, but still, Adbert Alzolay does not look great. Bottom 3, Swatson singles into right. Cleveland gets their second base hit of the day. with nobody out, they have a good opportunity to start a quick little rally and try to get on the board for the first time today. 2 gone now for Ramon Ramiro. 3-2 pitch on its way. He goes down looking on the fastball. Ramiro thought that was ball 4. The umpire behind the plate thinks otherwise. Clayton Kershaw gets through the third. He's only allowed 2 base runners so far, and he is looking like the prime version of himself. So going into the 4th inning, Adbert Alzolay will be taken out of the game. He'll be replaced by Nick Sandlin. Clearly, the Guardians do not trust Alzolay. They really trust their bullpen, who won them Game 3 a whole lot more, and you can't entirely blame them. Gleyber Torres strikes out on the fastball. Good start to the inning for Sandlin as that one goes 94. That'll bring up the first baseman, Gavin Sheets. He's going to weakly pop this one up to short. Swanson makes the play, and this one will be a 1-2-3 inning for the Cleveland Guardians. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. It remains a 3-0 lead. Cleveland's offense has still not gotten a whole lot of anything going for them so far. Trying to here as Ramirez hits it well into right, and it is caught. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Guardian offense. And, I mean, this is 2024. Clayton Kershaw is washed. He looks like he went in a time machine and pulled out, mid-2010s Clayton Kershaw. Good job by Ramiro to deflect the ball, but that'll still go for an infield single. Nick Sandlin still in the game, not much longer. He'll be taken out and be replaced by Max Fried. Fried has pitched in 3 games so far in the playoffs, his second bullpen appearance of the playoffs. Cleveland has used him as a Swiss Army knife, not just as he's starting games, but he's also being used as a reliever as well. He will let Brandon Nimmo reach via the walk. That'll bring up Luis Robert. He hits it into the tight gap in right center field. That's all he's been doing in this series, as that'll go for an RBI single, and the White Sox lead 4-0 with runners on the corners and nobody out. This could quickly turn into a disaster for the Guardians. Eloy Jimenez grounds out to Ramirez. That'll be a 5-4-3 double play. Run does score, though, and it's 5-0. You can make the argument that Ramirez should have thrown home, but he turns for 2 outs, gets Cleveland a little bit closer to the end of the inning, and sure enough, it'll come to an end as Ricande Diaboculis goes down looking on the fastball. Not a great inning for the Guardians. They allowed 2, 1 earned from Sandlin, 1 earned from Fried. Bottom 5, Clayton Kershaw still dominating as he faces off against Swanson, who hits it well into center, but it is caught by Luis Robert. Another 1-2-3 inning. The Guardians, after scoring 9 runs and 14 hits in Game 3, today they have 2 base runners through 5 innings. That is unacceptable. Fried remains in the game. The Guardians hoping to get a few innings out of him as he strikes out Yasmani Grandal on the slider. 2 away for Yoan Moncada. Drives this one high and deep into right center, and that one will deflect off the wall for a double. The White Sox offense has been consistently good this entire game. They've gotten multiple base runners in what feels like every inning, and they are doing a good job of driving all those guys in. That'll bring up Gavin Sheets' full count pitch. Hits this one high and pretty well into right center. George Valera will be able to make the play. So the White Sox don't add any runs here in the top of the 6th, but they still do lead pretty comfortably, 5-0. We'll see if this is the inning where the Cleveland offense can finally get something going. 3-1 pitch for Ketel Marte. Hits it up the middle. Hampson with a nice play, and he got him for the second out of the inning. Right when you thought Cleveland was going to get their first base runner since the 3rd inning. Not so fast, partner. Ramon Ramiro hits it well, but Gleyber Torres makes the play. Another 1-2-3 inning for Clayton Kershaw, and it continues to be tough sledding for the Cleveland offense. Miguel Castro will come into the game here in the top of the 7th for the Guardians. He's pitched very well so far in the playoffs, and he will have another routine 1-2-3 inning as Robert flies out to left. Ketel Marte makes the play. The bullpen is overall doing a pretty good job for the most part. The offense is just completely laying a goose egg right now as we go into the bottom of the 7th. 2 away for Jose Ramirez. Hits this one high and deep into left center, and it will bounce off the top of the wall. Cleveland is a base runner for the first time since the 3rd inning. That one will be a double, so the Guardians have the runner in scoring position here with 2 away. We'll see if Josh Bell can drive him in. Cleveland still not on the scoreboard today. Clayton Kershaw still cruising at 90 pitches through just shy of 7 innings. As Bell grounds this one to short, Garrett Hampson will make the play. And the Guardians still have not scored through 7 innings as the White Sox lead this one 5-0. Let's go into the 8th inning now. The Guardians hoping that they can at least pad the bleeding as James Karinchak will enter the game. He pitched a scoreless inning in Game 3, but still has an ERA in the double digits throughout the postseason as he strikes out Eloy Jimenez on the knuckle curve. The White Sox lineup is slowing down, but, that doesn't matter when Cleveland still cannot hit. 2 away here for Grandal. He will fly this one into left center, caught by Ketel Marte. Another scoreless inning for the Chicago offense, but again, it's not going to matter unless Cleveland pulls off a rally. Clayton Kershaw still in the game for Chicago as he faces off against Manuel Margot, who singles into center field. Good job by Margot, not getting the start today, coming off the bench, providing a little spark for the offense, who just needs anything to go their way. We'll see if Zane Rowley can do the same here. 1-1 pitch from Kershaw. Rowley hits this one well into right, but it is caught. So Zane Rowley not able to make the same impact off the bench as Manny Margot. 2 away, top of the order, back up for the Guardians. That'll start with Ketel Marte, who seems to be the only Cleveland player who's hit the ball semi-well today. And Marte rips it up the middle. That'll go for a base hit. Kershaw now in the triple digits in his pitch count as the Guardians have 2 runners aboard. The offense is starting to look competent, which I can't really say that about the first 7 innings. That'll bring up Ramon Romero, hoping to get Cleveland back in the game here in this at-bat. And Romero hits it well into right. That'll drop for a hit. Runner scores. It's an RBI single for Ramon Romero. And it is now a 5-1 game with runners on the corners. If Cleveland can get a base hit here, they're back in the game. It will not be against Clayton Kershaw. He's taken out. Still one hell of a performance from Kershaw. And he'll be replaced by Carl Edwards Jr., making his first postseason appearance of the season against Jesus Sanchez, who swings at a pitch that he should not have swung at. Weak pop out. I don't know why they had Gavin Sheets make that play, but he'll come down with it. So Cleveland scores 1. They double their hit total, but they're still down by 4 going into the 9th inning. We'll see if the Guardians can pull off an incredible rally and take a 3-1 series lead. Gleyber Torres leads it off for the White Sox. He strikes out on the fastball. As you can see, James Karinchak is still in the game for Cleveland as he faces off against Yoan Moncada, who will hit this one down the left field line and fair. That one will go for a double. Although the White Sox are up by 4, it appears they would like to add some insurance runs. You never know with Cleveland's lineup. Not that they've really shown any signs of pulling off a comeback. So Karinchak will be taken out of the game. He'll be replaced by Ryan Weathers, making his first postseason appearance of the season. 4.44, that's a lot of 4s ERA, and around 120 innings as the long reliever. He faces off against Gavin Sheets, who hits this one up the top of the wall up in left center. That one will go for a double, and the White Sox will extend their lead as they are now on top 6-1. Good swing by Sheets. Good job by the White Sox as they're back up by 5. Garrett Hampson goes down to the slider for the second out of the inning. Good pitch by Weathers, hoping to prove himself here as a guy who can pitch some postseason innings. Brandon Nimmo goes down looking. So Weathers technically lets the run score. He didn't allow the run in technicality as it'll go to James Karinchak in the box score. Bottom of the 9th, Carl Edwards still in, looking to finish off the game as Franmil Reyes singles into center. Since the 7th inning, the Guardians have had 4 base hits. Prior to the start of the 8th, Cleveland only had 3 base hits. So the offense is playing a little bit better, but this looks like a tale of two little too late. Jose Ramirez goes down on the fastball for the first out of the inning. 2 more for Chicago. Now they're just down to 1 more. The pinch hitter Josh Naylor is in, and he's going to sky this one into left field. Eloy Jimenez chases after it, and we are tied at 2. The White Sox take home Game 4 by the score of 6-1. Really the total opposite of Game 3 offensively for Cleveland. The Guardians could not get runners on base, and, well, when you don't do that, you're not going to win many games. The pitching was subpar. Adbert Alzolay was not great. The defense was not great. But bullpen was okay. Obviously not as good as Game 3. I wouldn't say they were great. You know who was great, though? Clayton Kershaw. He looked like his prime self. 7 2/3 innings. Only allowed 1 run. Get to the win. He was fantastic. As for Cleveland, that's 3 out of 4 games in the ALCS where the offense has, struggled. Luckily, they're not trailing. It's still 2-2. So hopefully games 5 at home and game 6 on the road can be a little bit better for the offense. As our series with the White Sox looks really competitive, the NLCS is already over. The Rockies won games 2, 3, and 4 in New York. So the Colorado Rockies are representing the National League in the World Series, and they'll face off against either us or the White Sox. That'll wrap up the episode. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.